Morning everybody, 7:30, you know where it is today. Lovely day, liquid sunshine, raining as usual. Okay, so day 17 of my property journey. I'm going to talk about, the tagline in here is the McDonald's system. The system to create wealth, and I'll elaborate on that a bit more. I'll possibly maybe get to talking about interest only or capital mortgages, capital repayment mortgages, but it depends how far I get, because I really only want to go to probably about 10 minutes. I don't want to spend too long, bore you to tears. So no surprise here. I bought this property I have now 20 years ago. You notice the pattern here of behaviour, the way I do things. 20 years, long-term investment strategy. And again, like yesterday, it was a pretty boring process. I bought it 20 years ago. I make money all the time. I do some refurbishments to it now and again, and that's kind of how it works. And it works well. Okay, so that's really what I do. Rinse and repeat is the expression, and I think they call it now today. It's called buy, refurbish, and rent. BRR. I was doing BRR before it was born. Sound like an old man. That's because I am. Okay, this property, the most memorable thing about this property, not really memorable I would say, was the tenant actually passed away in the property, and I didn't know how to handle it. The family contacted me and said, look, you know, we're going to have it cleared in 2 weeks, and that's fine. I went, yeah, that's okay, take as long as you want. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, because the way it progressed. And then the next minute, 2 weeks later, nothing had been done. I could understand, because, you know, everybody's got good intentions in the beginning, but it just doesn't work out how it is. But unfortunately, you know, I have to do something with it. I can't let it sit. So I left it. You know, I obviously contacted them. Look, okay, it's no bother. I mean, another 2 weeks were fine. So another 2 weeks passed. There's a month passed, and nothing's been done. And then another, you know, I kind of said again, another 2 weeks, and another 2 weeks passed, and nothing was done, and another 2 weeks passed, and I thought, and all this time I had actually been offering them to do something with the property and actually help them clear it and get it all sorted out. So all the assistance was there for them. I was more than happy to do that for them, but unfortunately they just kept putting off, and I'm sure they had the really good intention. So eventually I really just had to take the property back and actually clear it out and put the stuff into storage, and then tell them, look, you know, when you're ready, come and pick it up. I think that's the only way you can deal with it, really. Just get on with it. It's challenging, it's difficult. I'm going to talk about the McDonald's system. So, you know, surprise for everybody. What business is McDonald's in? The McDonald's Corporation. Hamburgers, I hear you say? No. McDonald's Corporation's in real estate, and they proudly say it in their brochures. What? McDonald's are in real estate? Well, McDonald's are a real estate business. That's where they make their money. If you've watched the film, The Founder, about Ray Kroc, who actually developed the McDonald's system, you'll realise that he tried to actually be in the business of selling burgers in the beginning, but he realised that he wasn't making any money at all. And then an accountant came along, surprise, surprise, an accountant, and said, you're doing this all wrong. This is what you should be doing. So the McDonald's Corporation actually rent all the premises to their franchisees, and their franchisees pay them money as a tenant of the property, and they pay them money to access the system. So the McDonald's Corporation are landlords. They're in the real estate business. That's where their wealth is created, and that's where most people's wealth is created. If you look at the top 100 rich list, you see loads of, you know, you see the first guy, he's in Tetra Pak or whatever it is, the wee milk carton, and where you're pouring your milk out the carton. But you'll notice his other business is real estate. Alan Sugar, computers, real estate. Now all real estate, because he sold his computer company to Sky. But real estate. And more people in the rich list are actually real estate secondary business. Real estate never goes out of fashion. It will always be here, because people always need to be homed. How that's done is policy for the government. But just now there's a demand for rented property. So the private landlord fills that demand. And that's why there's now beginning to become another resurgence of the buy-to-let landlord and the investor. Because over a long-term period of time, it makes money and it works. You know, I kind of, you know, I was thinking about it on the way down here. I was thinking, I get excited about that because it works. It is the McDonald's system. That's all I did when I first started, and I still continue to do it today. I buy a property, I refurbish a property, and it is the standard. It's magnolia walls, white facings and skirtings and doors, and beige carpets, a new kitchen, new bathroom if it needs it, and then new double glazing and new heating. So that's all I do, and that's it. It's set up, ready to go for somebody to move in. Set up the tenancy, move somebody in, and it continues to make money. You continue to look after it, you continue to look after the tenant. The occupancy rate's high as a result of it. Your numbers are right. The numbers are key. You have to get your numbers right when you invest in property. If you don't get your numbers right, you will run out of money. And this is where I will talk about this, because I've briefly gone over McDonald's. And if you want to talk about that more, then please get in touch with me and I'll talk about how to do buy-to-let investment on a serious scale. No nickel and dime things. Actually, really serious. How to create wealth over a long period of time. And it's a standard pattern I use all the time to do it. So that's why I have done what I've done so far. And I will continue to do that and show people how to do that. So capital or interest-only mortgages. I am not a mortgage advisor, so please don't take this as advice. But this is how I look at it. I do interest-only mortgages, and the reason I do interest-only mortgages is because if I do capital repayment, more money goes to pay the mortgage off and pay it down. Now, there's a lot of implications out of that. If anything happens to the property, I've probably not got enough money to put a new heating system in, because I've now started paying down the loan. I've probably not got enough money to put new double glazing in. So this is why I do interest only. But I also do interest only because you could get to the end of the year, the tax year that is, and you could face a tax bill, but actually have no cash to pay it, because the cash that you've paid down on your mortgage. Now, you're not allowed a tax deduction on the capital element that you pay on your loan. So therefore, if you had £500 rent, and just say your mortgage was £500 capital repayment, and say 250 was interest and 250 was loan, then the tax man, you will have no cash, because you have 500 mortgage payment and you have 500 rent. So you've got zero cash every month, but you're paying off your mortgage. But the problem is with the tax man, he says, you've got £500 rent, but we're only giving you a deduction of £250, which is the interest element. We're not giving you tax deduction for paying down your own personal loans. That's your prerogative. So therefore, you face a tax bill on £250 every month. That's why you can have no money at the end of the year to pay your tax bill. So this is why I do interest only. So I can look after the tenant, I can make sure I can refurb the property when I can, and also I've got enough money to pay my tax bill at the end of the year. That's probably the most important reasons I'll do interest only. Now is the time to get into buy-to-let. Why is now the time to get into buy-to-let? Because everybody says, well, you were lucky, Jim. We've missed the boat. You've no missed the boat. Because when I started in buy-to-let, it was proportionately dearer to buy a property. The rent return was less. Interest rates were at 8% rather than 1.25 and 2% you get just now. So there's never been a better time actually to get into buy-to-let and buy property. What did I hear you say? Oh right, what about the additional dwelling supplement, which is the 4% extra you have to pay for a second home? Well, over a long period of time that makes no difference. When you think about it, most of my properties have tripled in value over 20 years, and the 4% originally, 300%, okay, 4%. I know which one's better. And that is the lesson that I've learned out of the process. If it's a medium to long-term strategy, then definitely buy-to-let is the way to go in terms of investment strategy. It only is a secondary income, remember. It is a slow burner. It grows over a period of time. You still maintain things like your job or your day-to-day stuff that you do. So what you do day-to-day creates you is for a living. What you do outside of that is your slow burner, your buy-to-let, is for a lifestyle. And that's over a longer period of time. Okay, so I'll see you later, and I'll see you tomorrow at 7:30. It'll be day 18. Wow. I've only got another 40, 50 days to go. See you tomorrow.